Discovered someone in my friend group knew of my ex-wife's infidelity a year before I did. 4 years divorced. Could use some advice on navigating this. I am 4 years divorced from a serially cheating wife. At the time of divorce, I was 99% certain she was having an affair, but she never confessed, and I never had a smoking gun piece of evidence. So I had to decide to divorce based on an educated guess. Since then, I've had concrete evidence. But at the time, I had a lot of smoke, no fire. I take marriage very seriously for religious reasons, and it was one of the most difficult decisions I ever had to make. I felt I was healing very nicely over the years. But last month, I learned that someone in my friend group knew of at least one of my wife's infidelities a year before I did, and never disclosed it to me. I had introduced my wife to this person, and they had become close. That year was very consequential for me. I fell into a deep depression to the point of calling the suicide hotline once. This person does not know I know this. I am trying to figure out how best to proceed. This is digging up some stuff, but luckily I am not entirely off kilter. I am trying to figure out if I should confront them after all of this time, or let sleeping dogs lie and simply keep my distance in the future. Any thoughts appreciated. Redditor's reactions. Story 2 after. Redditor 1. It depends. They knew each other, but were they friends? Friend enough to cover an affair for? If that's the case, maybe just cut this person from your life. Confrontation won't solve much after divorce. On the other side, you said that you are religious. Religious people, in my experience, tend to always choose reconciliation. And usually reconciliation comes with killing the messenger. Your friend could have been thinking that you would have forgiven your spouse, and your spouse would then convince you to cut ties. For a better start of the healing process. Or the last option, they were both up to no good, so no one was in a position to snitch on each other. Which one do you think it was? Answer. Great questions. Or the last option, they were both up to no good, so no one was in a position to snitch on each other. It's this option, for sure. I know this person had an affair as well and divorced about a year before I did. To give her the faintest hint of credibility to her, I don't condone affairs for any reason, especially being the victim of one. Her husband was physically abusive. But I am sure they confided in each other about it, and this third party felt she couldn't open my wife's secrets without her own coming to light. On the other side, you said that you are religious. Religious people, in my experience, tend to always choose reconciliation. This is partly religious. Another part is just hating secrets now and choosing generally to bring things to light. On the other hand, the way this group works, I will inevitably see her again. There's no way around it. Redditor 2. I'll go with keeping your distance and letting your friendship with them drift away. If it's important to them and they ask why you're being distant, then tell them why. My guess is that they'll be so embarrassed of their actions that they will let the friendship go. You deserve better friends in your life. Redditor follow up. This is the way forward. If you're in a good place, there is no point in confrontation. Cut the toxic out your life and just carry on. Source, happily divorced dude. Redditor 3. If this person is still in your friend group, I would expose her to the group. Best everyone know the character of such a person and make their decisions on continued friendship knowing the full truth. As far as your continued relationship with this person, end it, and let this person know why. Story 2. Found stuff about my wife I wasn't supposed to. I recently found my 34 meters wife's 33F secret Reddit profile, and there was a lot to unpack there. Turns out my wife of 8 years and the mother of my children is full-blown bisexual, and also more sexual than I've gotten to experience from her in years. We have young multiples, so home life can be very stressful, but here I've been thinking the sexual side of her was sort of washed away by parenting. What's worse is she has multiple comments about how she just loves secretly flirting with women and craving a woman's touch and responds to posts from other women seeking and companions. I'm at a complete loss. It's funny because if she would have shared some of these desires and feelings with me, I would have tried to work things out with her, because the last thing I would want is for her to be repressed in her sexuality. Now knowing that she's so sexually cold towards me but very warm with random women on the internet has killed what little confidence I had. I haven't brought it up to her yet because I don't know how. But I run the gauntlet of sadness, anger, depressed, pure rage in this situation. I finally at least addressed our sexual relationship after seeing all this and said something along the lines of, I would love if you sent me flirty pics or even tried s-ing me. And she said, what's s-ing? And I've never flirted with anyone. Which sadly I know are both lies. I'm between telling her I know everything and straight telling her what I know to avoid any more lies from her, Or telling only a little and telling her I need complete honesty and hope she admits to things once I say a little of what I know. The only problem being if she lies, it's a further critical blow to our relationship in my eyes. Redditor's reaction story 3 after. Redditor 1, you need more information. After all, she's basically cheating on you or flirting the line. Depends on you. For me, this is a line crossed. I'm assuming your marriage is monogamous by this account. But from that reaction, from what you said, I'd get more evidence and consult a lawyer before dangling anything. Op answer, 100% monogamous. She responds to women in dirty chat subs about how she's interested in dirty chatting. Redditor 2, she's already cheating on you, so you need to decide if a partner who cheats on you is a deal breaker for you or not, or if she hasn't gone far enough for you to be ready to end the marriage without some effort. Honestly, while you're gathering the courage to speak to her about it, you should speak to a divorce lawyer first. I would if I were in your shoes. Get your ducks in a row. Just do not get blindsided. There are a bunch of dramatic ways you could deal with it if that's your thing. But either way, you should then confront her and ask her what the duck she's doing. Present her with any evidence you can so she knows you know, and present her with an ultimatum. Therapy, both individual for her and couples later, or divorce. She obviously needs professional help to figure out why this was easier than just talking to you. Op answer, appreciate the hard truths. Every time I think how I'll confront her, I circle back to, what the duck are you doing? Redditor 3, this is cheating and she knows it, but she's being obtuse. None of which are good qualities. Story 3, I 23M found a sex tape on my girlfriend's 23F phone. And it wasn't ours. I've been dating this girl for over 5 years. She's very special to me. Even at this point, I can't help but hope she's not too worried about why I've been acting so oddly. I honestly was planning to marry her sometime in the future as soon as we settled into our adult lives. One day we were chilling at her house when I asked her if she could send me the funny picture she took earlier that day of one of our puppies. She was busy on her PC, so she told me to just grab her phone to send it to myself. When I went into her phone gallery, I noticed a hidden folder which I hadn't seen before. Out of curiosity, I opened it. It was filled with her nudes. Most I've already seen. Some of which she's never sent to me before. I thought maybe she was stockpiling for whenever I asked for any. I clicked on a video. It was a S-time tape. It was from the POV of the guy, but the thing is, I don't remember ever filming it. It 100% wasn't me. Trust me, I know what my own S-long looks like. My girlfriend recorded having S-time with another man for the last 5 years. We've had a few share of fights, but nothing too serious. She'd always make me feel loved, and I could tell she really cares about me. Or at least I thought she did. After I returned her phone to her, I quickly got up and went home. I couldn't stay there any longer. And now I'm here. I don't really know what to do. I'm planning on confronting her and breaking it off, but right now I'm just so in shock. 5 years down the drain. And I feel like I just lost my best friend. I'm not really sure how to feel. I can't think straight. What would be the best way to handle this situation? Redditor's reaction story 4 after. Redditor 1, did you see a date on the video? If it was during the past 5 years, then that could be a problem, but you should probably come clean to her in person so you can gauge her reactions, see if she's lying. It could be a huge misunderstanding, but it could also be a huge breakup. I say just get to the bottom of it. If it does turn out to be a breakup, at least you found out before settling down with her. Op answer, I didn't check the date. But it was most likely pretty recent if the folder was sorted by time. Redditor 2, man, I really feel for you, and I cannot even begin to know the turmoil you feel. One thing that gets me, however, she let you open her phone. That is odd. Normally I'd think that anyone with something so explosive would try to hide that or be more careful about it. Honestly, if that video is legit and there is no explanation for it, it's over. Talk to her, hear her side, and decide then. I'm hoping it's a fluke or something that you saw incorrectly. I wish you the best, dude. Redditor 3, ask her about it. Story 4, my 47M son's 24M wife 23F says he pet her. He has a different story. The two of them have been together for 4 years and have been married for one with 3 kids, 3F and 3F and 3M. In the very early hours of this morning, I hear someone calling me name from the gate. Get up, look outside and see my daughter-in-law standing outside with a bag and a pram holding my grandchildren. I obviously let her in and asked what's wrong. She didn't want to talk, so I gave her space and took the kids to sleep in my room. I woke up at around 6 and she was still up. She couldn't get a hold of her parents, so she finally decided to tell me what was going on. She says she was feeling sick and didn't want to have time with my son, but he pushed her and ended up just RPing her against her protests. She thinking of opening a case, which I support. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Shortly afterwards I checked my phone. I noticed I got a call from my son last night and again this morning, so I called him. He was also crying and I could barely hear him, but eventually he calmed down and told me he almost hit her. He says all day yesterday she was giggling and chatting on her phone with a guy she says is a friend. They argued and then left it. At night curiosity got to him and he went through the phone and found out that she was sending nudes to some guy. He got angry, grabbed her and shook her to wake her up and got into an argument again. He threw her phone on the floor and almost hit her. She then packed up and left with the kids. I haven't told him that she's with me because I don't know what to do. I don't want to be involved, but I already am. My daughter doesn't believe her at all and says I should kick her out. I don't know. Either way he was wrong. What now? First update, I asked her about the infidelity and she says it's all nonsense. She's now at the hospital to see what she can do and then she's going to the police station. I've told my son that they are here and that she's opening a case. I'm not good at reading people, but he did seem surprised at her story and so was she at his story. I've warned him about an upcoming trial and suggested he calls a lawyer, which he says he will. Second update, they're both going with their stories and are both very firm in it and are gathering evidence on both sides. I have asked my Dill if I could take her to a friend or to her family and she understood. I'm still keeping the kids with me on her request, and as much as I'd love to update more specifically on what's happening, I can't, but I do appreciate all the comments and will read them all. Story 5, my 28M girlfriend 32F was laying on the couch and I saw a sent photo on her screen. Update below. Hello all, this just happened about an hour ago, so I'm trying to see if my thinking is in the right place. After supper tonight, my girlfriend of 4.5 years was having a nap on the couch, so I went to squeeze in a little Xbox before bed. Got off about 45 minutes later and she was awake on the couch. I came over to sit down beside her and saw a sent photo, a selfie of her curled up on the couch in a conversation. Looked to be Insta and I said offhand, that's a good angle, can I see it? She locked the screen and said I was just trying to take one and I said, well, I saw you take one and send it, let's see it. Now I'm at about a 2 on the controlling scale. I have never asked to see her phone, never have any problems with any of her socializing, etc. She never has an issue letting me use her phone, look or anything. She said no, you can't see it. I said, what do you mean? I just want to see the pic, and she got up to go to the bathroom and start doing laundry. I walked up to her and said, you realize this is a massive red flag? And she said, I don't know what you want me to say. Why would you think I would cheat on you? I replied, I never said anything about cheating. I just want to see the picture, and the way you're behaving right now is extremely concerning. You've never had an issue with me doing any single thing on or with your phone or your laptop, and now you won't even open up your phone at all. She said, can you please just leave me alone so I can go shower? I replied, so you won't let me see what the picture was? And she said no. Now this is all well within her rights, but she has never acted like this whatsoever. There's never been any significant issues, few small things here and there of course between us. She does have quite a few male friends, but it's nothing I get jealous over. Once she was done in the shower, she went straight to bed and I went in and said, this is a very serious thing for me. If you want to deal with this right now we can, but otherwise this will destroy our relationship for me and there's a very good chance we will not be together by the time next month's rent is due. And she just said, I don't know what you want me to say. I didn't do anything wrong, so I took my pillow and I am on the couch now. I've had issues in the past with exes cheating on me, and she knows this. That's why it's been great that I've not had a reason to worry until this. Just a completely different person during that discussion and I have a very bad feeling in my gut and not sure what to do. Edit, she texted me from the bedroom, saying I was just in the bathroom for 1 minute looking at my back on my phone. I didn't want you to make fun of me for looking at my back. This has literally zero to do with what happened and seems like she has a completely terrible excuse and timeline of events. I've texted a few friends to see if I can arrange something since things, barring a progressive discussion tomorrow, are not looking good. Update, for everyone messaging me about an update, here it is. I went into work and told my boss we ran into some possible issues the night before, and I felt like I needed to go home to address them, so I did. I went home and we hashed it out. She didn't delete the messages, and showed me. It was just as she said. She said she sort of freaked out as she felt I was just coming at her with cheating accusations. She used to have an emotionally abusive boyfriend, I've known this from the start, so she just sort of went in lockdown mode. I believe her, I've had no reason to think she would lie to me. During this conversation, other issues that we have with one another in the relationship came out, and we hashed those out too. Overall, we both have a lot of work to do on ourselves and for us as a couple. As for where the looking at my back part came in, she was in the bathroom just before everything happened, I guess, taking pictures of her back. She showed me said pictures, and she brought up why would you think I'm cheating during the altercation, as she thought I knew she was in there, and that I thought she was sending nudes. For everyone messaging and replying saying how controlling and insecure I am, I get how this post came across that way, but it's just not true. I've never asked to see any conversations, snaps, DMs, etc. in any way other than a what's so and so up to. I don't control who she talks to, where she goes, who she hangs out with, nothing of that sort. It's just not me. Frankly, I don't really care, since she's coming home at the end of the night to me. But when you're with someone for 4.5 years, living together for 3, you know what normal behavior is and what abnormal behavior is, and this was definitely abnormal. I'm sure a good portion will just think get a load of this guy, but you're all entitled to your opinion. Like I said earlier, we both have things to work on, and that includes, I guess, trying to mentally get over the baggage we both have from previous relationships. All in all, the messages were nothing to worry about. I overreacted because of the strange behavior she showed due to a previous relationship, and we were both able to bring up things we'd like the other to work on. Perhaps I'm a fool and just got swindled, but as of right now I have no reason to believe there is any suspect asset going on. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, I wouldn't budge on this personally. The fact that she brought up cheating on her own makes me highly suspicious, plus all the other odd behavior. I would not let this one go. Edit, just want to say that I think you're being really strong and handling this way better than I would. I hope one day I have the ability to walk away from disrespect as easily as you do. Answer, that was what triggered me to go back and tell her this is, realistically, a relationship ender for me. Not the picture, not who she sent it to, but the fact she's being this hyper-defensive and projecting onto me. Redditor 2, so you said her behavior could spell the end of your relationship, and she just shrugged it off? I'm sorry to say, but it sounds to me like she's already checked out of the relationship. Her cheating on you is a possibility, and it's up to you if you really want to press her or find proof of that. However, I would start making plans to move out and separate whatever finances or assets you share, because this isn't going to end well. Redditor follow up, so you said her behavior could spell the end of your relationship, and she just shrugged it off? This was what stood out to me. Either she's overconfident and thinks it's just an empty threat and he won't actually leave, or she doesn't give a damn either way. Redditor 3, red flag, bro. She went on for like an hour being evasive and playing dumb. Continually going to another room. If she had only sent a photo to her mother or her sister, she absolutely would not be behaving that way. End your lease ASAP. Note for life, when someone is caught red-handed and either can't think of a lie or don't want to make it worse by having a bad obvious lie, one go-to phrase is the old standby, I don't know what you want me to say. Answer, yup. I couldn't care less who it was going to or what the picture was, barring a nude obviously. Her behavior is the big issue. We rent month to month, so no problem there. We'll discuss it in the morning, as she had a couple glasses of wine after supper but not looking great.